I was reading today about how you went from your first movie that was $50,000.
Yeah.
And you were like, I could either buy a house
Right.
or I could make a movie.
Right.
And you made a movie.
I made a movie.
And it was only 7 years ago.
Yeah, it wasn't long ago. You know, on Facebook where they have these this new feature where it tells you what you posted 2 years ago. 2 years ago today was the premiere of Selma.
Wow.
Seems like I did that film so long ago. For me,
Oh, yeah.
I've done 13th, I've done Queen Sugar, I've shot Wrinkle in Time,
Right.
I've done so many other things, but it was only 2 years.
And I remember I met you, the way we met was you had Selma coming out and I had Wild coming out.
Oh, right.
It was a new step for me, for sure, and I was really nervous and insecure about being a first-time producer and starring in things. And I immediately saw you and Oprah at an event, and I was like, hey, ladies.
Yes, hey, I'm here too.
Yeah, fellow ladies.
Yeah.
I was like, it made me feel more comfortable.
Yeah. But all you've produced and all that you've done since then, I mean, in such a short time, really cementing yourself as, you know, one of our foremost women producers. So it's exciting.
Well, I'm sure trying. And
Yeah.
I think part of that just...
We work fast.
Yeah, we work fast. And you have to. Don't you have this sense of urgency?
I do. Hollywood in general, you know, windows open and close. There are people that were, you know, highly regarded 5 years ago that now you don't hear from. So the town is really fickle. But also you put on top of that being a woman, and you put on top of that being a woman of color.
Right.
You know, there's just a feeling of like, let me get it in while I can.
Did you ever think, like, when you were a little girl that you were going to be a director
No.
and be on the Disney lot making a $100 million
I did
movie?
not.
What did you think you were going to be?
A lawyer.
Really?
Yeah, I wanted to be a lawyer when I was little.
What kind of lawyer?
Civil rights.
Nice.
Yep. I remember getting a briefcase for my 8th birthday and thinking, there it is. Few short steps from the courtroom. And I really was like, yeah, this is my path with that briefcase.
Well, I've played a lawyer, and sometimes I think I am a lawyer, but I'm not. Turns out I'm not. People think I'm a lawyer, too. I once had to be on jury duty for something, and I was part of the jury, and everybody made me the jury foreman. I was like, I just want to be clear, people. I did not go to Harvard Law School. That was a movie, and it didn't really happen. It's crazy, the power of movies.
I love it.
Did you have a moment where you were like, why did you want to direct?
I didn't pick up a camera until I was 32 years old. I was a publicist, and I was on all kinds of sets. And one day I was on a set, Michael Mann's set, of a film called Collateral. And there were a lot of people of color in the film, and they were shooting very near to where I grew up. And I thought, gosh, I could be making this film. You know what I mean? I love the story, and I talk to these actors all the time, and I have an idea about how that blocking should go. I think he should probably walk there instead of there, but okay, if that's how you want him to walk, you know? And, you know, just had ideas for the first time on that set of
I remember
movie
thinking,
making.
Jada, take off your high heels while you're running. I said it to Michael Mann, too. I go, I love that whole movie, but if she didn't take off
those things off.
Take those damn high heels off and run for your life,
Yes,
girl.
exactly.
Right.
Yes, things like that, right?
Yes.
So you're on a set and you're observing it, and that was the first film that it was something about the alchemy of being in a place where I grew up and really knowing that neighborhood, seeing the people of color. It was Jada, it was Jamie, it was Javier Bardem in a very early role. And then they had these new cameras, the digital cameras he was working with early for the first time. It was the first time that I'd seen them on a set, how easy it was to kind of work with them. Because there was something about always watching that process as a publicist on set where I was like, I don't know what that is, because I didn't go to film school.
Right.
So the technicality of that scared me and made me think I can never learn that. But once these new digital cameras came, it was like, oh, you just push that button and let's start.
And we're going.
I thought, well, wow, there's a lot more to the filmmaking than the technical aspects of lenses and all of those, and gave me permission as someone who wasn't formally trained to look more closely at the more creative aspects of it that I felt, you know, fully ready to jump into.
Did you ever feel nervous to ask questions?
Oh, yeah, I think it was really important when I first started to surround myself with people who I felt comfortable asking questions.
Yeah, that's important.
But yeah, I cobbled together that film school experience for myself. I didn't ever sit in a classroom. I would watch DVD commentaries of directors. I was like, is this legal? So this person is just gonna walk me through every single thing they did to make this movie?
Yeah.
And it's on every movie ever made?
Every DVD, I know.
Yeah. So all that to say, there are different ways to learn. And we as women, you know, are often taught, I think one of the big challenges in moving into new spaces is that it's put forth that the best way to achieve, that there is one way to achieve, right? It's the formal route. It's the route the guys have gone. It's the route these certain people have gone.
Right.
And I'm never going to be Steven Spielberg. I did not have a Super 8 camera when I was 8 years old.
Right.
I don't have any of that. I only had what was inside of me, and I had to be able to tell myself that's enough.
Right.
And to step forth with what I could get my hands on.